Today we are going to talk about 3 things that you must do to land your dream job. And a little heads up, one of the items is not to rewrite your resume, and another is not to apply for more jobs, all right? So my name is Maryann Lombardi, and I'm here to help you land that dream job by building a supportive and engaged network. Now, this is not the old boys club networking advice. This is networking that is reimagined for you, the working mom, the caregiver, who is sick of the work-life balance battle, who wants meaningful work that values your effort and recognizes that you have a life and backs that up with the policies and the flexibilities that you need. So this is networking designed to produce more opportunity and choice when it comes to your work life. So let's get started. The first of these 3 things that you must do to land your dream job is you have to make networking a habit, not something that you do when you are just looking for a job. Because one introduction can change your life. I know that it did for me. So networking is about developing relationships, right? And relationships are built over time. They're built through shared interests and support and trust. And they're hard to build if you only reach out to people when you need something from them, right? You need something to do, and so you reach out, right? Developing the habit of reconnecting with people that you know, meeting new people, and following up and checking in is essential to building that supportive and engaged network. This doesn't mean you have to spend hours a day working on networking, but it does mean you need to start making a little time for connecting. It's about consistent little actions, not grand gestures. It's about building the habit of connecting, following up, following through in small ways, sending a text when something makes you think of someone, sending an article about something you talked about on the last call you had, or engaging in their content. Those are just some ways. So the first step is making networking a habit. Now, the second thing you need to do is you need to make reconnecting with past relationships your first priority before you start building new connections. Too often when we start networking, we think we got to rush out, right? Like rush out and start connecting with a bunch of new people. We hit up all the hiring managers on LinkedIn. We increase all of our connections with everyone that we can think of. It's like the spaghetti at the wall approach, which is not effective and not yummy. So it wastes your time, it wastes your attention, and it doesn't set a good impression. The first step when you start networking is to reconnect to the people you already know, because guess what? You know a shit ton of people. And I know you don't think you do, but you do. I promise you, you do. And it's time that you reach out to them and reconnect instead of starting a whole bunch of new relationships, which take time to develop. Start with the relationships that you have already put effort into developing. Now, yes, it can be difficult and awkward and weird to reconnect with people, but so what? Do it anyway. If we just did the things that made us comfortable, we would do nothing, or just keep doing all the shit we've done before. And if you want to ditch that work-life balance and build a new dream, you got to start new things, because the things that got you where you are not the same things that are going to get you where you want to go. And the other thing is that people are just generally going to be happy to hear from you. So just reach out. Be yourself. So for example, I was traveling to Arizona last week where an old college friend lives. I saw a sign for a university center that bears her last name. I took a pic. I texted to her saying that I was thinking about her and would love to catch up, which we did. We texted back and forth. I'm going to be back in Arizona in a couple of months. We're going to plan to get together. Like, I'm going to make the effort to think ahead of time to do that. Now, I don't know if reconnecting will lead to any kind of opportunities for her, for me, but it doesn't have to. I'm just excited to reconnect, to see how I can support her, because she's just awesome and interesting and doing cool things and was a huge part of my life for a very long time. So the second step is to make reconnecting with people you know your first priority. The third thing is you just got to have a little faith, right? Networking is a long game. It is hard to know at the beginning how your relationships are going to lead to opportunity, but they're gonna. Whether you know exactly what you want right now, or whether you have some acute need for reaching out to your network to help you solve a problem, they're gonna help you learn something new. They're gonna help you find someone new to talk to or to find that opportunity. But you have to have people to reach out to in the first place. for this to work, right? Like see thing one, see thing two. You aren't going to know how your network is going to lead you to that dream job. You are going to have to take that on faith. Some of this work you can control and be proactive in, invest your time and attention into, but the rest, you kind of just have to have faith that your effort and the relationships that you are building are going to support you when you need it. The long game is vital to building that engaged and supportive network. And too often people reach out to other people only when they need something, which feels transactional because guess what? It's transactional. That kind of networking feels yucky and inauthentic, especially if you haven't built a relationship with the person before you reach out. But if you have put in that effort into the relationship, when you reach out for help or advice, there's nothing slimy about that. So put in the effort regularly and have a little faith. So just to recap, we talked about the 3 things that you must do to land that dream job. Number 1 was making networking a habit. If you only do it when you're looking for a job, your networking is not going to be as effective. Number 2, make reconnecting with your past relationships your first priority before you start to build new connections. You already know a ton of people. They would love to reconnect and they would love to support you. Number 3, have a little faith. Networking requires you to have faith that your effort will lead to the opportunity. You won't always know how and when things will come up, but guess what? It will happen. So, thank you, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.